Have you ever watched a beautiful dream transform into a living nightmare right before your eyes? That's exactly what Golden State Warriors fans are experiencing as their fantasy of pairing LeBron James with Stephen Curry for one final championship chase has officially been crushed by cold, hard reality. The Lakers have delivered a brutal message that should send shockwaves through the Bay Area. They have absolutely zero interest in trading the king to Golden State, regardless of what package the Warriors might offer. This isn't just another rumor being debunked or speculation being shut down. This is the definitive end of what many considered the most logical and exciting potential blockbuster trade in recent NBA memory. The vision of LeBron and Curry, two of the greatest players of this generation, joining forces for one last dance at championship glory has been obliterated before it ever had a chance to become reality. But here's where this story gets truly devastating for Warriors faithful. The rejection of their LeBron pursuit exposes much deeper problems that threaten to derail their entire championship window. The Lakers' dismissive response to Golden State's potential offers reveals just how far the Warriors have fallen in terms of trade assets and organizational appeal. The LeBron to Golden State narrative made so much sense that it felt almost inevitable. Two aging superstars, both chasing their final championship opportunities, coming together in what would have been the most star-studded partnership since the formation of the original Big Three in Miami. The basketball poetry was undeniable. LeBron's court vision and basketball IQ paired with Curry's revolutionary shooting ability could have created an offensive juggernaut that defied conventional wisdom about aging athletes. From a strategic standpoint, the fit seemed flawless. LeBron's ability to facilitate and create for others would have taken enormous pressure off Curry, while Curry's gravitational pull as a shooter would have opened up driving lanes and created easier scoring opportunities for the king. Steve Kerr's system thrives on ball movement and player intelligence, two areas where LeBron has consistently excelled throughout his legendary career. The timeline made the partnership even more compelling. At 40 years old, LeBron is clearly in the twilight of his career, but still performing at an elite level. Curry, approaching 38, remains one of the most dangerous offensive weapons in the league despite showing subtle signs of decline. For both players, time is running out to add another championship to their already impressive legacies. The Warriors' recent struggles have made this partnership feel not just desirable but necessary. After years of championship contention, Golden State has found themselves stuck in basketball purgatory. Too talented to rebuild, but not quite talented enough to seriously challenge for titles. Adding LeBron would have instantly catapulted them back into legitimate championship conversation. The geographic and cultural fit also seemed perfect. LeBron has always thrived in high-pressure, high-expectation environments, and few organizations understand championship pressure better than the Warriors. The Bay Area's tech-savvy, forward-thinking culture aligns perfectly with LeBron's business interests and social media presence. The Lakers' complete dismissal of potential Warriors packages exposes uncomfortable truths about Golden State's current asset situation. When Los Angeles reportedly showed no interest in Jimmy Butler or Jonathan Kuminga, two players who would be considered valuable assets by most teams, it reveals just how poorly the Warriors' trade chips are viewed around the league. Jimmy Butler, despite his injury concerns and age, remains one of the most impactful two-way players in the NBA. His playoff resume speaks for itself, and his leadership abilities have been proven in multiple championship runs. For the Lakers to dismiss him outright suggests they either don't value his contributions or don't believe he fits their timeline and system. Jonathan Kuminga represents the type of young, athletic talent that rebuilding teams typically covet. His potential remains largely untapped, and his combination of size, speed, and skill should make him an attractive piece in any major trade discussion. The Lakers' apparent lack of interest in Kuminga might indicate concerns about his development trajectory or questions about his fit in their system. The rejection becomes even more stinging when considering what the Lakers might actually want in return for LeBron. If they're not interested in Golden State's best available assets, it suggests they're either completely committed to keeping LeBron, or they're waiting for offers that far exceed anything the Warriors can realistically provide. This dynamic puts Golden State in an impossible position. They can't compete with teams that have multiple first-round picks, young superstars, or salary cap flexibility. The Warriors have essentially priced themselves out of the LeBron market through years of championship spending and asset depletion. The failed LeBron pursuit highlights systemic issues that extend far beyond just missing out on one player. The Warriors find themselves in a precarious position where they're too committed to their aging core to rebuild, but lack the assets necessary to make championship-level upgrades. This asset poverty stems from years of championship-focused decision-making that prioritized short-term success over long-term flexibility. Trading away future picks, developing players internally instead of acquiring established talent, and spending heavily on veteran contracts has left Golden State with limited options for major roster improvements. The Kuminga situation represents a microcosm of the Warriors' broader developmental challenges. Despite years of investment and opportunity, Kuminga hasn't developed into the type of impact player that would headline major trade packages. His stagnation reflects broader organizational questions about player development and roster construction. The Jimmy Butler consideration adds another layer of complexity to this situation. Even if the Warriors could acquire Butler, questions remain about whether he represents a meaningful upgrade over their current roster or just a lateral move that doesn't fundamentally change their championship odds. Perhaps the most devastating aspect of this LeBron rejection is how it exposes the rapidly closing nature of Golden State's championship window. Curry and Draymond Green are both clearly in the decline phase of their careers, while Klay Thompson's departure has already marked the end of the dynasty era. The Warriors are facing the harsh reality that their championship window might already be closed, and they're desperately trying to force it open through increasingly unlikely scenarios. The LeBron pursuit represented their best chance at recapturing championship glory, and its failure leaves them without clear alternatives. Time is working against Golden State in multiple ways. Not only are their core players aging, but their salary cap situation becomes increasingly difficult with each passing season. The combination of expensive veteran contracts and limited flexibility creates a scenario where meaningful improvements become nearly impossible. The competitive landscape has also shifted dramatically since the Warriors' championship runs. Teams like Boston, Denver, and others have built championship-caliber rosters, while Golden State has struggled to maintain their competitive edge. The gap between the Warriors and true contenders continues to widen. With the LeBron dream officially dead, the Warriors face uncomfortable questions about their future direction. Do they continue pursuing increasingly unlikely championship scenarios, or do they begin the difficult process of transitioning toward their post-dynasty era? The remaining trade options for Golden State are uninspiring at best. Without premium assets to offer, they're limited to role player acquisitions and marginal upgrades that won't fundamentally change their championship odds. The gap between their championship aspirations and realistic possibilities continues to grow. The developmental approach becomes even more critical given their limited trade options. Players like Kuminga, Moses Moody, and others must exceed expectations if the Warriors hope to remain competitive. The pressure on internal development has never been higher. The coaching staff faces enormous challenges in maximizing a roster that lacks the talent depth of previous championship teams. Steve Kerr must find ways to compete at the highest level with increasingly limited resources and aging superstars. The franchise's identity is also at stake in these decisions. The Warriors built their reputation on innovative thinking and bold moves, but their current situation requires careful navigation between competing priorities and limited options. This LeBron rejection might be remembered as the moment when the Warriors' championship window officially closed. The dream of one more title run with their core has been replaced by the harsh reality of an uncertain future and difficult decisions ahead. The path forward requires honest assessment of their current situation and realistic expectations about what's possible with their existing resources. The sooner they accept these realities, the better positioned they'll be to navigate the challenging transition ahead. But for now, Warriors fans must confront the devastating truth that their championship dreams have been dashed by forces completely beyond their control, leaving them to wonder what might have been if circumstances had aligned differently. The LeBron-Curry partnership will remain one of the great what-if scenarios in NBA history, a tantalizing possibility that never materialized due to organizational limitations and competitive realities that proved insurmountable. What do you think about this crushing blow to the Warriors' championship hopes? Does this rejection signal the definitive end of their competitive window, or do you see other paths forward for Golden State? Drop a like if this analysis opened your eyes to just how dire their situation has become, and share your thoughts in the comments about what the Warriors should do next, because honestly, their options are looking pretty bleak right now.